lovely Tampa, Florida. We had a pretty good game in game one. I mean, I know the score didn't dictate that at the end, but we have South Carolina moving on to the final, which takes us to game two. The UConn Huskies versus the UCLA Bruins. Blue on blue crime. Blue on blue crime. How you feeling, D?
Blue Bloods. I love this matchup.
You love a blue blood?
I love this matchup. I think it's the two teams that in the last 3 or 4 weeks probably know themselves more than anyone else. And there's nothing better than that when you get to a game like this. Your identity, your DNA, these two teams know who they are.
They do, they do. And one of the people who probably knows himself the best is Geno Auriemma. I mean, I'm losing count on how many Final Fours that we've gotten to at this point.
This is 24 if you didn't know.
It's 24.
And if you don't know,
how many in a row?
Now you know. It's a lot.
It's
He's
unbelievable.
making it look too easy.
Too easy.
And I think we're taking for granted how great Coach Auriemma is.
What do you see on that face right now? Read that face.
I know, Coach. He's focused. You know, we talk about how bad we want Paige to win a championship. I want Coach Auriemma to win a championship. It's been a couple years.
It has been. But you bring up Paige. She's going to be a key to this game. This is a player that in the last couple weeks has really put the team on her back. I think one of my favorite parts of her game is her pull-up jumper. You know, whether teams switch, she's able to take smaller players off the dribble. If you come off pick and rolls and you don't give any help, she's going to have that all day. That'll be a problem for UCLA. But more than anything, she's calling her own number. She's looking people off, calling her own number, getting herself going, and she's going to be really important if UConn has a chance. What do you think about Paige?
I mean, I love Paige's focus right now. I mean, we keep talking about your last year. This is her last chance. And we talk about the greats in UConn history, and it always ends up being the ones who won a national championship. And this is her best opportunity to be one of the greats of all time. And I have no doubt in Paige tonight.
I call winning a championship at UConn when you compare the ultimate tiebreaker. When you win a championship, it puts you on a different level, and we all know Paige is going to be focused for that. But on the other side, UConn is going to have their hands full with Lauren Betts.
I mean, she is a problem, and this is what happens if you try to double team her to kick it out for three. Reminds me of another amazing post player, Brittany Griner, the dominant BG, and she was the same force. Pick your poison. If you double, they kick it out. If you don't, the great low post position puts you in a predicament. Sue, how do you guard this?
Well, as you can tell from the Seattle Storm, I don't know if you go one-on-one with Lauren Betts. We're going to see what UConn does. She definitely presents a lot of problems. To be honest, playing against BG, it does feel similar. You have to change things up, and I think the way that UConn can have success against UCLA, and particularly Betts, is to attack her defensively. I think they got to get her moving, tire her out, honestly, get her in a place where she doesn't post as deep. That's one way to attack it.
This is going to be the hardest game Lauren Betts ever plays in. You know, usually playing at Connecticut, we're always undersized. Perimeter catches are going to be so hard. Getting position low post, fronts, three-quarters, heavy help side. All these things are going to be the things that UCLA really have to be aware of. And then you look around. Can Jaquez have a big game? Can Kiki Rice get going? All the things that have made UCLA really tough to guard are the things they're going to have to bring tonight.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking your brain on what it's like to play with a post player as dominant as Lauren Betts, but we're also going to be picking some other people's brains. We got a great guest list. You've already talked about Jaime. We got Allison Feaster coming on the show, Brianna Stewart, who's basically, like you said, a co-host, a regular.
Yes.
It is a family affair. It's a little bit, it's 2-1 in the bleed blue when it comes to the Blue Bloods, but that's how we like it. Very excited for this. Let's check out the lineups for tonight's game. Who we got? Who's starting? All right, we've talked about Paige. We've talked about Lauren. Give me other X factors.
I mean, when you talk about Connecticut, the one person that really hasn't had that moment in the tournament is AZ Fudd. And, you know, we've seen moments against South Carolina on the road where she is the best player on the court. They're going to need that eventually in this game. It might not be for the 40 minutes, but there's going to be a stretch where AZ and her shooting is going to be so key.
I think Kiki Rice for UCLA is very similar, right? A player that they've counted on all season. She's had a great season, but the last couple games, she hasn't really shot the ball well, and it's a player who has the ball in her hands a lot, who can have a lot of impact on the game. So if she has a big game, especially from the outside shooting the ball, it could be tough for UConn to take that all down.
Yeah, Kiki has the balance of being aggressive, getting them into offensive sets to make sure that Lauren is in positions to be successful. So she's juggling all those duties, but at the end of the day, she has to be aggressive for this team to be able to overcome UConn. And I think their depth overall is going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. All right, I cannot wait to see how each team attacks the other. I know for UCLA, Corey Close talked a lot about you can't give them three-pointers, just their efficiency, but then there's the whole threes versus twos. Can UCLA score enough?
Well, and getting out in transition early, what better feeling for AZ Fudd right now? You know, struggled the last couple games, comes out, gets a steal and an easy bunny to get going. Those are the type of buckets that can lead to a big night.
So when you played with BG, what defense was, I get this is very specific to BG, but for you as her teammate, what was the most difficult to play against?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a combination of what you said is when teams went back and forth. They didn't give us a steady diet of either doubling or high side or, you know, playing physical, trying to stump her up the lane. But, you know, coming back to this game, the versatility of Connecticut really hurts other teams.
Yeah, the fact that they can, you know, they start who they start, got a little bit of size. The fact that they can go small in the modern era of basketball.
Modern era is fun.
If you can play small ball and are effective and you don't give up the things that you might give up if you go small, you can put points on the board. You are a matchup nightmare. And that's what I imagine. If UConn goes small, that's exactly when they need to attack Betts the most offensively.
Yeah. I mean, Sarah Strong, a freshman, she is just so smooth. Sweet feet, soft hands, can shoot it, can pass it. I mean, I love guards that can play like that.
She really is a great passer. I mean, we talked about it in game one. Players like a Janelle McCarville. I mean, when you have a passer at the four.
And this is what UCLA is going to go to. They're going to go to Lauren Betts a lot on the block. And if you're Connecticut, do you overreact to a post move? Do you want to limit her touches? Do you start doubling?
I will say the one thing we haven't talked about yet, the impact she's going to have on the defensive end. Again, I mean, we're going to bring BG up a lot. You played with a player like that. We talked about this last year, too. Yeah. It's like the ultimate Band-Aid.
Well, it's funny. There'll be games when there would be like 6 blocks, and you're like, wow, she had a lot of blocks tonight. And then there's certain games where she would have 1 block because no one would go in there. It's more of a deterrent than anything.
Right.
And that is the one thing that Lauren brings to this game is maybe they'll limit the times they go downhill, but another good sign for Kiki Rice. What do you like about her game?
So I think okay, I was trying to see if that went in. I think what I like most about Kiki is her demeanor. She has a nice composure about her. Very rarely do you see her get like super rushed. I saw it a little bit in the Elite Eight game. She was trying to create a lot, trying to make something happen against LSU, but very rarely do you see her get rushed. What I do think she is figuring out, and you brought this up already, is how to get hers and be a point guard. And I'll be honest, that is a balance that if you're going to play that position, that is a balance you are going to have to find and struggle with and find again throughout the course of your career.
Yeah, it's something where you have to stay engaged the whole game.
The whole game.
So when it is time for you to make a big shot, which you know, you can go 3/4 of like making sure everyone eats and everyone's in the right position and I need you there. And then, with 2 minutes left, no one wants to touch it and you got to take the shot.
Yep.
So,
and you haven't shot in 15 minutes.
Right. So she's going to have to find that balance. But I think when she plays aggressive, UCLA's just a better team.
Man, Betts is not even nice shot. If Betts is going to guard Jana like that, she has to be seeking pick and rolls. She has to go set a pick and roll on anybody at any time. Betts is in no position to help.
There's that 3/4 front and hard help. I mean,
they got to mix it up, I agree.
We've played against bigger players our whole careers at Connecticut, and just the aggressiveness that they talk about leading up to the game, you just feel it on the court.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if UConn goes zone a little bit. They got to change it up. Just throw anything at them. Oh, not the up and under.
Got him.
Is there anything worse than getting got by an up and under?
I just foul. Like, you're not going to make me jump and you're going to score? No, I'm going to foul you and you're going to take it out of bounds. What did I used to?
I let him score.
You let him score.
I tried swiping and then...
You try to get your nose out of the way like that. I mean, stylistically, this game is already visually
the pace, yeah, you can feel it.
Than the last game, and there are going to be shots in this game to be made. There are going to be open looks on both sides, and I like UCLA's pressure on the ball.
Got to post Sarah up.
I like Paige taking these shots.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all.
I like there's that three-quarter front. I think we need a drink every time there's a three-quarter front tonight.
We forgot to cheers.
Cheers.
With Alicia. I don't think she was drinking anyways.
Yeah, that three-quarter front.
And Sarah was there for the double.
And look, yeah, right behind that heavy help.
She said throw it up.
I mean, that's key when you play with someone that big.
I know.
You either
go ahead.
No, I mean, you have to play a little bit different at a different cadence. I would always tell BG, you're going to get a layup or it's going to go out of bounds. One or the other. Like,
you were elite at post passing with BG.
Like, you cannot underthrow a post player. It's like the most annoying thing ever for them.
Yeah.
Not only that, you can't throw them a what?
A bounce pass?
A bounce pass. If I see a bounce pass tonight to Lauren Betts.
But can't you acknowledge, like, if someone like Caitlin Chen, 5'6", 5'7", well, she's down there. That's the only pass that she can throw. That's how I feel when I'm on the guard.
She should do the Laszlo pivot and throw behind.
Honestly, do you know what I really think? If you drive and you're a small guard and your only option is a bounce pass, you might as well just shoot it. You might as well just get it on the rim and let them go get it. That's just as good as a pass. Hey, Caitlin Chen played well. When she was at Princeton, they played against UCLA. She had like 23, 24, 25, balled out.
I mean, tell me you can add a fifth-year point guard to your team.
I know.
I mean, what
an Ivy League fifth-year point guard.
A California kid, that went to Princeton, and then you get to add that to your team. I mean, this is
Carla Baru be proud of.
This is what all these coaches have to, value now. When you get that fifth-year senior, that can really come and change your program. And
it's what USC last year. That happens to the Ivy Leagues, but they brought in like vet players who just knew their role, could basically supplement what they had going on with Juju. It was perfect. I do like UCLA's offense. They run some good stuff.
Yeah, I think there's that three-quarter front. What's she saying? What's that saying? Throw it up. Throw it up. You got to throw it up.
Hey, Jana's playing hard.
The three-quarter front. This is when I would like Connecticut to move it a little bit quicker.
Play faster.
You're probably not going to shoot that shot. We got the bucket anyways, but go to the next action. You're not going to make an aggressive move. And obviously Lauren's in a deep, deep drop.
What I would love for you to add to your AI program,
tell me,
is, let's be honest, in basketball.
One.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Anytime I'm about to bring up a really good point, we usually have to go to commercial and everybody has to wait. What they have accomplished, the Final Fours they've gotten to, or not. Corey Close, this is her first Final Four, which actually does bring up the question, does Coach Auriemma, obviously he has an advantage, how much is that going to play a role? He's in his 24th, which is a proper joke. Dawn 7, Vic has 3, Corey Close her first. Do you think that experience is going to play a role in this game?
I do, and I think it plays an experience when you have a start like UCLA did. The turnovers, not feeling settled on offense or defense. Obviously, Connecticut's brought that toughness early. They've tightened the screws. And can Corey get a team with their first Final experience to get over that little hump?
Yeah.
And then what do you think about Coach Rim? I mean, 24 is a lot. When we talk about experience, being a negative, a positive.
Do you have any memories of playing for Coach Ariema in these Final Fours and just
Yeah,
like
I
what
do.
it felt like? Because honestly, the big takeaway from Alicia Gray was what? Dawn instills confidence. Dawn's calm. You know, she's not mad till she rolls that paper. You know, so there was something there. What do you remember about Coach Ariema?
I mean, Coach would get in my ass. I mean, my sophomore year, your senior year, I remember there was a timeout, and he was just drilling me. And there was just one baby tear coming down my eye. And I'm like, are you really doing this right now? With 2 minutes to go in the national championship game?
And you know exactly why he did it.
And we know what happened, but that was my memory.
So I have a memory of that same game.
Yeah.
And that game, we're talking about 2002. We're going for an undefeated season. We're in the final game against Oklahoma. We really haven't we've like pretty much handled everybody all year.
Yeah.
We had a couple closies, like Boston College once.
At Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech once.
Yep.
But for the most part, took care of business. This game did not start well.
No.
This game, it was like everything that could go wrong or, quote, wasn't supposed to happen was happening.
Yeah.
And I actually remember going to the sideline, probably during a free throw, kind of had his arm around me, and he was like, what's going on? And I was like nothing's going our way. And he actually was a calming voice in that moment. He was like, this is something to the effect of like, it's early, like we are who we are, that kind of a vibe. Not those words, but, and it's the first time he ever gave me calm. Usually, he'd get my ass.
Yeah.
And it was the first time he ever gave me calm.
That's nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
It's probably the only and last time he's giving you calm.
But yeah, he just was very, in that moment, like, very sturdy.
Yeah.
I needed sturdy. And I think that's his special sauce.
Yeah.
He knows what you need.
Yeah. Well, since our little therapy session, Connecticut's gone on a little run here. And being up 10 in these moments, this is when you always talk about that Connecticut run, right? The 15-0, 16-0. And when you have the luxury to bring Ashley Shade and KK Arnold off the bench, we talked about South Carolina's depth. Now we're talking about Connecticut's depth.
Yep. And they certainly have it at the guard spots. It's a good start for UConn.
This is when you play through a player so much and it's not going your well. Can you switch it up and do something different? And obviously Lauren's going to go to work and she's going to get deep position, but is that going to be enough in a game like this? Do they need other people to step up, like in the Elite Eight game, to make threes, to make other plays?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what got them. Don't get me wrong, Lauren Betts played great in the Elite Eight game, but it was their guards hitting threes.
Gabby
Those
played
double
great.
teams, yeah. Gardner was like, she had 5 or 6 threes.
Speaking of bank shots, I don't think she called this. What do you think?
She called it the same way you called it. The double knee, if you're doubling, that's got it. The thing I learned about playing against BG, you have to double. If you're gonna do it, you gotta like sandwich it right before they can even turn, move. I don't like doubling
on the dribble.
On the dribble.
I hate it. It's a foul every time.
I mean, there's some people you can do it if they're not good passers. Lauren Betts is a great passer.
It's a guaranteed foul when you double on the dribble.
It's got to be boom, like Sarah, sandwich her.
Yeah.
Almost went bank for bank. If you're gonna double, you go on the catch and you got to be there.
Yeah.
Lock it up.
On the catch.
That's how I feel like we had to play against Elizabeth Cambage too in the WNBA. You couldn't let her turn, or else you were just like on a ride. She was taking you to the basket. That doesn't hurt.
And the first quarter has come to an end.
It's a pretty good start.
Basket is under review.
We haven't had many reviews.
Made basket by UConn is confirmed.
So we're looking at Gabby right now.
Yeah.
We've got Jaime, who's going to be joining us.
Oh,
it's a family. Oh, you got the Yeti already?
Yeti!
The Yeti is ready. Welcome back, everybody. We've got a special guest. We're going to take a little bit of a 29-11. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is in the building representing UCLA. What do you remember from this Final Four moment?
Man, I remember how incredible that game was. It was one of the most fun games I've ever been a part of. I won't lie, it was a lot of offense back and forth, and it just went down to the final buzzer. Fortunately, we didn't come home with the win, but I was just super proud of how we persevered through everything. Started in the first four, made it all the way to the Final Four. It was such a memorable experience, and just had so much fun during that time.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think you grew up in Irvine, you wanted to be an anteater.
I was born in Irvine. I grew up in Camarillo, California.
Okay, yeah. I mean, what was it like being a basketball family? I mean, I'm sure you and Gabby just always play basketball everywhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Growing up where we were, we had a park right across the street, so we would go there every single day in the summer and play. I would take my sister and brother with me, and we would kind of dominate the court. And my sister, obviously being a girl, she'd come play with the guys, and that's where she really learned, how to grow into herself and be tough and learn how to be the woman she is today. It really started there.
So when they made it to the Final Four last week, did you hit her up with any advice, given your experience?
Yeah, the one thing I said was just enjoy it. I know the advice given to me when my time was during the Final Four, it was just to enjoy every single moment. It goes by so fast. I feel like I just started college like last week, and here I am, almost done with year 2 in the NBA.
I literally can't.
And so I just told her to enjoy it. It's going to be so much fun. Enjoy the time with her girls. Just embrace the moment and just go out there and have fun.
Yeah, we were just talking about how being down 10, there's always a lot of game left.
Yeah.
What's UCLA have to do to get back into this?
I think they got to take care of the ball. A lot of turnovers to start the game. That's never great way to start the game, but as long as you can clean that up, like I said, there's a lot of game left. You never know what can happen, especially in a moment like this. Girls can get hot, start making shots, but I think just taking care of the ball is the most important key for them right now.
Well, we have you here joining us from Miami.
Yes.
How's it going with the Heat this season?
It's going well. We had a tough
How else do you ask that question?
Yeah, how's it going with
We know how it's going.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's been going well for the past week. We were on a nice little win streak. We had a heartbreak last night. It feels like March is just not my month for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Game winner after game winner. So last night was a tough one, but we'll be back at it tomorrow. Got another one. Just regroup, and there's always another game. That's what I've learned in the NBA. You got to have a short memory, move on to the next one.
Well, you were first team, all rookie. You're obviously your rookie season. What have you noticed the difference from year 1 to now?
I think, it's more people know who you are now. That's kind of the thing that you start to learn is
you're on the scouting report.
You're on the scouting report for sure.
They know that spin move now.
Yeah, exactly. They start to scout your moves and start to scout your style of play. So it's just something you got to learn and adjust to. And it's been a great learning experience this year with the ups and the downs, and just excited to and blessed to just be here as well and just get to learn.
So we were talking earlier about playing with and against someone like Lauren Betts.
Yeah.
When you play with a dominant post player or you play against a dominant post player, like that switch that you have to have the balance of making sure we get her the ball and then everyone else being aggressive. Have they found that balance tonight?
Like I said earlier, it's the turnovers. They've been, really trying to get her the ball, which is completely understandable. But they also got to remember that, it's got to come within the flow of the game.
Yeah.
You can't always try to force it. Obviously, UConn and you guys have been scouting that. They know it's going to come. So it's going to take a lot from the X factors right now on the Bruins to come away with this victory.
Yeah, something that we've talked about also is kind of managing the nerves.
Yeah.
Like Final Four, it's just bigger.
For sure.
It's just bigger. It has something to it.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about your experience going in. Because you guys were a little bit more of the underdogs, did you feel the nerves in that way?
I think we were just so excited to be there. We had, I don't think we had any fear. We were just like, no one expected us to be here anyways. We're going to take our best shot, and that's exactly what we did. And it was a great game. Went down to the wire. And, you lose on a shot like that, you just got to tip your hat. So that's kind of how we were. But, the nerves are definitely going to be there. I think around, the first couple minutes you start to settle in and realize it's just another basketball game.
Yeah, I mean, right now UCLA is playing with house money, and they haven't played well. And, I mean, it's a 14-point game. But when they do find the things that are working offensively, the way they shoot the three, Gabby, I mean, they can get back in this game pretty quickly.
Definitely, definitely. I think, like I said, you know, they're trying to play inside out right now, you know, trying to feed the ball into Lauren. But I think, you know, at the same time, they got to just play their game, you know, not try to think too much. Just remember it's a basketball game. Do what they've been doing all year, move the ball, share it, and just try to find open looks wherever they come.
More importantly, who has better restaurants, LA or Miami?
That's a great question. That's honestly super tough. I really love the restaurants in Miami. I really do. However, LA's got much better Mexican food, which I love.
Orale.
But it's a toss-up. Honestly, you can go either one.
Yeah.
You can go either one.
Who has better beaches, Miami or LA?
I like Los Angeles.
Yes.
I think they have way better beaches. Honestly, it's the waves. It's a nice ocean breeze. They don't really have an ocean breeze in Miami. It's always a little hot and mucky. But I like California.
But it's probably good for your curls, you and Sue.
Yeah.
My hair does enjoy the humidity.
Yeah, it's popping.
You should have just played for the Sparks.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there was a time where I wanted to be a Spark.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Loves LA. You
I
should have
know.
just gone.
You should've.
I mean, UCLA was the school I wanted to go to so bad. I tell Sue this all the time. Like,
I've been
I'm a
waiting to
girl
bring
at
this
heart.
up.
Yeah, we got to bring this up. I did not know this.
She visited there.
Okay.
So I went every summer. They would have this In-N-Out truck there before
Yep.
football games. yeah.
The best,
Oh, I believe
the
it.
best burger in the entire
Oh,
country.
yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
That
You guys are
double-double.
tripping.
Double,
Animal
in and
style?
out. Exactly. There
Stop
you go.
it.
She knows. She
Shake
knows.
Shack's better.
And all I wanted, so I had this great AU team I played on. All they had to do was sign one of my best friends, and I would have went there, and they didn't.
You weren't going to go there.
Why? that was the golden years of UCLA before
Yeah.
this team. Erica Gomez, Marie Philman, Natalie Nakasi, Mel Morin, Janae Hubbard, Melena Martin. It's way before your time. This is like Toby Bailey time.
Okay.
He was a diehard.
Die-hard
Yeah.
going over
That
there.
might have been after Toby Bailey.
You think Toby Bailey was after that?
No, before.
Before that was, but Toby Bailey was like Tice Edney,
with the
George
O'Banion.
Cedic.
Okay. Yes.
Maybe
yes,
it was the
yes.
same.
Maybe it was the same. That was the same little.
Titus is my man.
Yeah, I went to go see you at Poly Pavilion. I think you got a technical that game.
I did.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I had 3 my whole life. That was one of them.
I mean, how crazy. You played in a place where John Wooden literally, when we talk about dynasties, he created like the first dynasty.
For sure. That was something that our coach, Coach Cronin, used to talk about all the time. You know, this is something that was built way before we got there, but it's a tradition that you guys got to carry on.
Right.
And that was kind of what they emphasized. And UCLA, I mean, it's just such a tradition of champions. You know, the Pac-12 Conference of Champions. Rest in peace. I wish it was.
I know. How do we feel about that?
Man,
I
was
hate
so.
it.
I agree. I hated it.
I hate it.
I hate
I can't believe this is what it's come to. But you know, with NIL and the money and everything, you know, I don't know. You can't have everything.
Yeah,
you can't have everything.
You're right.
I really
no
don't like
Pac-12, Pac-10 kills me.
Yeah, I really don't like it.
Because I grew up on watching Oregon play Oregon State, UCLA, USC. and
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right. I'm going to get this wrong, but it just doesn't feel right when Stanford's playing Alabama.
No, not at
Just
all.
like,
It doesn't
what?
feel right when UCLA has to travel across the country to play Rutgers. Like,
Yeah, Rutgers.
makes no sense.
But it's about the academics.
Yeah,
You're a student
exactly.
athlete.
You are a student.
You're a student
athlete.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I mean, USC and UCLA this year. Kiki, you know, your sister, Lauren, they played Juju in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, in Indianapolis.
Yeah,
That's like you guys. We took that trip all the way out to Indiana when we could have just played it right at home, or in Vegas, like they used to always do, which was a lot more fun.
Like, you probably watched every single UCLA game this year.
I try to.
Yeah,
I try to.
When they're in these positions of having to, you know, create offense or create defense, do they have a switch up defensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, they got to turn up the Jets defensively. I think with really any team, you know, if you're not getting it going offensively, the best way to create that is through your defense and getting stops and getting out in transition and, you know, trying to get easy buckets. And they're definitely capable. Like I said, it's still earlier on in the game. They just got to, you know, keep their confidence high and, you know, try to get something going.
So we're getting to a point in the game. Still 5 minutes left, so a lot could happen.
Yeah.
This is something Dee and I have debated time and time again. Would you rather be, I'm going to change it a little bit.
Love this question.
Would you rather be up 15 to 20 at halftime or down 15 to 20 at halftime?
That's a great question. On, you know, some teams, I feel like some teams are different than others. Some teams, they're up 20 and they're great at holding leads, and some teams are better when they're down.
Yeah.
So I think it's all dependent on your team. I think right now, you know, the Bruins, they have no other choice but to play good when they're down. So, you know, they better get it together.
Yeah.
They got no other choice right now. So.
What have you seen in Gabby, like, in terms of her development?
She's gotten so much better over her career, and it's been such a amazing journey to watch. You know, from when she was in high school and even to middle school. You know, just constantly working on her jump shot, on her development, ball handling, defense, how much work she's put in. You know, we talk about it all the time. She would always ask me questions on what she needs to get better, and you know, she's done everything. You know, she puts the work in. And she's just been so tremendous in her journey and her growth as a player. And it's being shown right now on the biggest stages. She, like her 3-ball, for example. You know, last game going 4 for 5. I mean, that's just all the works and long hours in the gym right there.
That definitely helped them get here. And Jaime, we can't thank you enough for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
This is amazing. We'll be back soon.
Awesome.
This is dope.
USC has the Millers.
Well, so far this game, it's been a lot of AZ fun. I know that all the UConn fans are happy. She's got 11 points on 4 or 5 shooting. This is a little bit of a comeback game.
I mean, we talked about it earlier in the game. Like, she's your 3rd best scorer, and on 99.99% of any other school, she's your best player. Like, we're talking about one of the most elite scorers in the whole country. And we talked about her slow start the last couple games. What do you like about her tonight?
She's aggressive. She's just aggressive. It's like you wouldn't know she had a poor shooting night last time out. She has the whole, like, new memories, short-term memory, I should say, and you can see it. She came out here with a purpose. That's the difference. Because all the shots are kind of the same.
I mean, you can almost, like, call these games for players like AZ Fudd, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a great game. You're disappointed in yourself. Your team wins, so you're kind of like, well,
she hit a couple threes at the end.
Yeah,
probably helped.
Which
that
definitely helped.
Yeah,
and
it helped.
I'll give
Helped
Coach,
to see it go through.
I'll give Coach Rammer credit. He ran a couple sets for her to get open, and she missed a couple, and then, you know, in the 4th quarter, she did knock some down. And I think, you know, Corey might try something like that for Kiki. Can you get her in an ISO going right to get her going? Can you set up Gabby for a 3? Can you do something a little bit different than come down and throw the ball inside every single time?
I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
When you played with BG,
yes,
and you guys were in a mode of just trying, like constantly trying to feed her, did that impact you? And do you think it's impacting? Keep your eyes just hit a 3. Do you think it's impacting the guard play?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it definitely did. But you know what, the BG evolved, and you know this, from her first year to now. Like, she understood how her movement impacted the whole team. And she became a great ball screener, a down screener. All these things she involved to, like, okay, cool. I post up, I get doubled. I need to find a different way to get open. She evolved to being able to shoot outside 15, 16 feet, shooting 3s now. And I think, I mean, Lauren's going to get there too, especially when she plays bigger, more physical players. But I think this is when UCLA's got to find a way to muster up some offense. And it must come from their defense.
I feel like they're slowly going to figure it out. And this is, listen, I know we joke about the would you rather be up 15, 20 at halftime thing. But the reason why I always think about that is because, especially in big games, when you go up early, it's like a 6th defender.
Right.
It's like something else that exists that's kind of like on your mind a little bit. Like, oh God, I don't want to give the lead up. You start playing slower, less aggressive. You're waiting for the time to run out.
The one thing I have noticed is they are playing Lauren different almost every possession. And that's something she's going to have to figure out throughout the rest of the game. But the tremendous pressure they're putting on the guards is not making things easy.
So I was going to say this earlier, and this is going to be like my epic point, I think. I don't even remember what I was going to say. Hopefully it was this.
I feel your aura.
When we played against you guys, the one thing that we talked about against a player like BG, really any post player, and I'm gonna bring up Ann Donovan. It started with her. What did Ann Donovan always say?
Guards tip the pass.
Guards tip the pass. So when you play against a post player that you know the other team's trying to feed, AZ's got 14 now.
Someone is cooking tonight.
And listen, the thing about her, once she's locked in, there's really nothing you could do about it.
I mean, there's not many players that when they shoot, you always think it's going in. Every time she gets the ball, oh my God, and she is just being
Around the back.
a pest.
What is she at the
She's just
SC30 camp?
dog camp.
But back to the ball pressure.
Dog
The
camp.
point is, you start to realize, oh man, as a guard, I have to put extreme pressure on these guards so they can't, the pass ends up being too low. The pass ends up being off target. That is a form of post defense.
Yeah, those are the, I mean, if people think, you know,
Paige in every game has she really hasn't gotten going until the second half, so I'm not even worried about this.
but yeah, people think, you know, defending the paint, you need big players. Well, you also can defend the paint on the perimeter. Don't let the ball get there. You know, all those things, that's interior defense too.
All right, so a little fun fact about Diana and myself. We played in Russia, as everybody knows, but a lot of these stories come out of our Spartak years.
Yes.
But before we played for Spartak, we played for a team called Dynamo Moscow.
Yes.
I played there 2 years. Diana played there 1 year. I'm actually going to start the story my first year. When I got there, the president of the club was a woman. She had 2 sons. One of her sons, they said, he's pretty good at hockey.
Pretty good.
It was the NHL lockout that year, and they're like, he's probably going to go 1, but we'll find out when the lockout gets figured out. I was like, okay, cool. To make a very long story short, you fast forward to the next year. He then gets drafted. He goes. The name of our president was President Ovechkin. And her son was Alex Ovechkin. We knew him as Sasha, which is a common nickname for Alexander in Russia. And we've just heard that a certain record has been broken. Am I getting that right? We just heard, act like you didn't hear that, we just heard that a certain record has been tied. Alexander Ovechkin has tied Wayne Gretzky's record for most goals in NHL history. So,
Harasho.
Maladiets.
Harasho.
Maladiets. And Maladiets to the UConn Huskies. We're on a little bit of run.
Davai, Huskies.
Pashli Damoy.
Harasho, Shoshana.
Spasiba.
Nastarovia.
The very first Final Four was 1991, an unexpected occurrence. We didn't know how to prepare for it.
It's unfortunate that you all didn't get a chance to see us play as well as we're capable of playing.
I remember when Maya was a freshman, we came here to Tampa, we lost.
Tara Vander there, her team to the national championship.
The last couple of years, getting to the Final Four was such a struggle. We had so few bodies that were worn out. I think this year we're better equipped. We've been here a lot, and regardless of what happens this year, we'll be back.
What is it? What is it about him?
I mean, we're asked this question so much.
So much.
And I always try to find a different point of view, a different way of talking about it, of explaining how he just gets the best out of you at every turn. Individually, but more than anything, as a unit, as a team. Like, we've almost forgot that basketball is a team sport. You can do all the individual workouts that you want. You can get better at, you know, all your individual skills. But at the end of the day, it's about how do you put a team together that functions. And guess what? We function.
We're out here trying to function. I would say what I would add to that, which I obviously agree with, what I would add to that is Coach Auriemma, Chris Daly, of course, Tanya Cardoza, Jamel Elliott, every assistant that's ever been
Morgan
there.
Valley.
But Coach Auriemma and CD, the ability to not get complacent, the ability to not get bored, the ability to act like every year, every game is the most meaningful thing. That is a skill that I don't know anybody who's been able to duplicate that. You're actually very similar. There's just no complacency. Every possession, every missed layup, he has an actual adult tantrum. And there's something about that. There's something about that. Like, he genuinely feels that.
And his teams play like that. Like, I know we always talk about Connecticut in these big moments, and, you know, we always play big in big games, but, like, they probably play the same way at Seton Hall.
That's what I'm saying.
At Providence.
That's
right.
Like, they do.
That game,
we know that.
he actually is harder on you in those games, which is insane. You're like, Coach, we're up 30. Chill out.
All right. Now that UConn is up 20 points.
Do you want a hammer?
I don't want to be up 20.
Do you want a hammer right now?
I don't want to be up 20 and a half.
Would you like to put the nail in the coffin this early?
No.
I mean, you did it in the third quarter.
By the way, so everybody knows, I prefer to be down 20 at halftime. I think the pendulum swings in a way.
Yeah.
This is a WNBA take. This is not a college basketball take.
Yeah.
I just want to elaborate on the argument that we have.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the WNBA, 20 is nothing.
I don't know in college being down 20 with a 30-second shot clock. It's much harder.
Are you hammering?
I'm not. The hammer is yours.
No. I did that last game.
Where's the hammer?
Now it's in your tool belt.
I mean, it's going to be very hard for UCLA to overcome this.
Very
I
hard.
talked about the three-quarter front. I mean,
They got us out here speaking Russian.
got me out here. Как дела, хорошо, давай, триски.
Давай.
Too late.
Niet. All right, guys, coming up on the AT&T Halftime Report, we have a very, very special guest. There's no sake, but there is Natalie Nakasi.
Hey.
He wants to drink sake with you, Natalie. She'll be joining. We'll have the first half reactions. Stay tuned. Report. Guys, what are we watching? What is happening? Is this the halftime show?
I don't know. This is what I want to do when I'm retired, though.
That is crazy. All right, so we do have a special guest joining us. I'm very excited to introduce the new head coach of the Golden State Valkyries, Natalie Nakase. Welcome, Natalie.
Cheers, Nat. Congratulations
Cheers to that.
We haven't done it on purpose yet.
Before we talk about all this like UCLA Bruin love that you two have, I believe Natalie actually has a special gift.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Right.
My bad. This is for
I'm not.
inspirement.
Are you guys all?
I had to be prepared. I'm a preparation.
This is the same wrapping.
I'm a
paper
preparation
as before.
It's not a crown.
What is?
No. I mean, love
Oh,
it.
I love that. Not my problem anymore. That's actually that's great. I'm gonna use that, Sue.
Yeah, put it right there.
Put some sake in this thing.
Show it to Penny every time she asks you to do the laundry.
Not my problem anymore, Pen. Thank you guys. This is awesome.
You're welcome. Happy retirement. Are you so happy you don't have to coach against her or what?
No, it hurts my heart.
Oh, look at that.
The goat.
Good answer.
Like, to not see you up and down the court, like, it broke my heart.
Oh,
Sorry.
thanks, Nat.
It really did.
I mean, we go way back.
I know. So I want to, let's just talk about, let's get present. Let's talk about where we are.
Yeah.
And let's talk about how you two know each other.
Go ahead, Nat. You probably remember more than I do.
Well, funny story, actually. Do you remember playing us in AAU?
I do.
You do?
Yeah,
Remember?
you, Anna Combs.
Yeah, South Coast Hoyas.
Yeah.
It was way back then. So, funny story, our coach, and we were actually considered like the best team, and back then there was only one team, one club team, right? Not all this.
Yeah, there's like 1,008.
Yeah. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to play this younger squad or whatever, and then they have a really good 8th grader. I was a sophomore. I'm like, we were killing teams, right? And then all of a sudden, Hannah just comes, and she just kills us, like just rocks us. I'm like, who is this 8th grader? Like, we literally thought we were going to kill her, and she dominated.
High socks,
High socks.
ponytail,
High socks. Yeah.
braces.
Yeah, it was, but you killed us.
It was scary. It was a scary sight back then.
No.
But you know what? That was the great part about playing, though. I mean, you know, AAU basketball was so much fun back then.
So much fun.
Like, and I always reminisce on those times where it was like, you just got to play with your best friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was no NIL even back then. Like,
No.
if you had a pair of shoes, you were happy. Like,
Of course there was no NIL back
know,
then. What do you mean?
I remember the one year we got, do you remember with.
You got free stuff?
Yeah, we got N1 uniforms. I was like, what? I'm like, we got N1?
Couldn't tell you anything, totally.
Yeah, with the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Pick a straw because you suck. It's like, we are doing it.
The AN1 shirts were so good.
They were great.
My favorite one was something like, if you play off me, like, I J you. If you come up on me, I lay you. It was something like that. AN1 had a run there.
Yeah. How do you feel about your Bruins? First half, down 20 against the Huskies. What can Corey do to kind of sway the tide?
Got to move that ball. We got to move on. I would like a little bit more spacing, but honestly, Connecticut came out defensively way more physical. Denying Kiki the ball, putting 2 as soon as Betts got the ball. I mean, the physicality and the defense to me always ends up winning out.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I think we actually have a Twitter question coming in. All right, from Alex Donovan. With both of you now retired from the WNBA, what is your all-time favorite moment playing in the league? Nat, you can answer this as well. I know you're not retired, but you've been in the league. You can have a favorite moment. You got one?
Yeah, I would say probably 2009 Game 5 WNBA Finals. I mean, there's nothing like winning a championship at home. You know, you win it on the road, there's that moment, but you're on the road. At home, your city is all there. That was a great moment.
I think for me, it's hard to pick a favorite. 2018 championship, when we won it, it was game 3, I believe. I never thought I was going to get back to the finals. We were rebuilding, and I was going to just retire in a rebuild.
Yeah.
So to actually have it happen, totally unexpected in a lot of ways, that goes down. What's your favorite?
Yeah, I didn't play in the league, and funny story though, I tried out for Phoenix Mercury.
I remember.
Shout out to Ann Myers. Yeah, so I literally was like, oh my God, I actually might make the W. Like, I was like, this is heaven. And I made it all the way till the end. On the massage tables, and you're like getting everything right.
I got my treatment slot.
I mean, Ann comes in, like, knock, knock, knock. I'm like, oh,
can I see you?
I was like, oh God, can I see you?
And one brewing to another.
Annie! But pulled me in, said, hey, great job, da-da-da, but she's like, Diana's coming back. And I'm like, what? I said, if the goat's coming back. Yeah, I'm like, if the goat's coming back, then.
But what about as a coach?
Yeah. Best moment? I mean, winning our first championship.
Yeah.
Like, very memorable. Very special group. I'll never forget, just because we worked so damn hard for that first one. You know what I mean? No one thought we were going to win. Everyone thought we were going to come in 5th or 6th. So just shout out to Las Vegas Aces, Becky Hammond, the whole staff.
Yeah,
those are always.
I don't like talking about 2022, guys.
Sorry.
I don't like talking about it. But before we do more UCLA, Vegas talk.
Tell me more.
AZ Fudd. AZ Fudd. She has 19 points in the first half. We're going to take a look at her play right now. As a coach, what are you seeing in her?
I mean, amazing, fearless shooter is what I see. And the thing is, she gets it off quick, and that's difficult to guard.
Super quick. What about you, D?
Yeah, I mean, what I see is a lack of aggression also on UCLA. Like, you can't give.
I said we were going to get back to UCLA in a minute.
But I can't unsee the separation. When you have a great shooter and you're giving him 3-4 feet, like getting your hands free as a shooter that's freedom. If you can get your hands free, life is good, right? Yeah. And in every single clip, she's getting her hands free. There is no fighting. There's no tussling. Like, those are the things that, as a scorer, that annoy you, and there's none of that happening right now, for UCLA.
So maybe an adjustment.
An adjustment would be nice.
Watch this adjustment at halftime. I guarantee you, like, UCLA will come out. They'll come out fighting. I'm sure Corey is giving it to them, cussing them out.
So now, as the newly named head coach of the Valkyries, do you watch these games differently?
I was thinking the same thing.
As a scout, or like, I want that player in 2026, or this is the type of player that I want to see on my team?
No names. We don't want tampering.
Oh, no names.
But, like, is there a certain characteristic that you see in a player that you love?
I love players that honestly just play the right way. As simple as that sounds, but I think those are hard to find.
Yeah. Very hard.
Like, attention to detail,
very hard.
Competitiveness, but got to play the right way.
They have the right aura, per se.
Aura is a great word.
It is.
Let's drink to that.
The new school, you better get used to it. Nat.
Amazing. Nat, this was so fun. Thank you so much for spending halftime with us.
Yeah.
Listen, it's going to be hard for me to say. I feel like you're like 50-50 UConn, UCLA over here, but we wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely.
In the second half.
We'll be there. Can we get some tickets up in
We didn't even get to the visit. We didn't even get to you hosting her.
You don't want to
talk about it?
Take that to the grave.
Because I know the stories.
Take that to the grave.
Go ahead.
I know the stories.
Take that to the grave. I remember I had overalls on from Gap.
You did. You came out, and we just, we had a great time. So we leave it at that? We had a great time.
They had a great time. Not good enough.
I mean, that was such a great team.
Not good enough.
Well, she did say, I really wasn't going to come.
Wait, what'd she say?
I wasn't going to come. I wanted to visit. Am I allowed to say that?
Well, yeah, because it was you and Mel Morin, and I was like, I'm going to go on a visit with my
She's
homie.
retired now. You can say whatever you want.
Okay, yeah. She said, I came because I just wanted to go to a visit to LA, and I was like,
All right.
You live in LA.
Yeah.
No, I live in Chino.
You live in Chino. She finally admits it.
Oh yeah. Inland Empire always.
Yeah.
But Nat used to run the South Coast leagues. I mean, those leagues were rough.
All right,
They're
we gotta
so
go.
hard to- No.
I know. They're in my ear. We gotta go. Thank you so much, Nat.
Go Bruins.
We'll be back for the third quarter. We're still here in beautiful Tampa. UConn is up 20 on UCLA. Great start for the Huskies. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what UCLA does. But before we do that, we've got another poll for you guys. Who will have the best WNBA career? Is it Lauren Betts? Is it Madison Booker, Paige Beckers, Mylasia Full-Wiley? We know they're not all draft eligible this year. We're talking in their career. Who do you think will be the best pro? You guys can scan the QR code below. It's popping up soon to vote. This is brought to you by AT&T. Who you got?
That is such a great list, and they all have such great potential.
Hard to pick.
From what I've seen right now, I think Paige is just the most dynamic, has the most things to fall back on, the most tools in her belt. So if I had to scan a QR code and I had to vote, I would go with Paige Buckets. How about you, Shoshi?
There is the QR code for you guys to scan before we move on. Again, brought to you by AT&T. I think it's Paige. If Madison Booker, though, continues to develop, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem. All right. So scan that QR code. Let us know what you think. Stay tuned.
I mean, throw Sarah and AZ in there, too.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
Welcome back to the Bird and Taurasi Show, presented by AT&T. We have a very special guest, Allison Feaster. Is it weird now that people are like Sarah Strong's mom and not like, no, I'm Allison fucking Feaster. Oh, I'm Allison Feaster. It happens once. It happens once a year. It happens once a year.
Totally. I have my identity is now being Sarah
Strong's mom.
But I just want to say congrats on your retirement.
Oh, we got another gift.
what is going on? You guys, this is the worst break you ever
We
played.
got another gift.
What is this? You know it's not going on my head. A bag? Or am I going Whole Foods? I should.
No.
Let me see this. Officially retired.
Go.
I mean, y'all are just clowning
You
today.
can tie it.
Y'all clowning.
You can wear it for the. You can wear it.
I can give it to Mario.
It's her
when he
gift.
barbecues his Argentinian asado.
There it is.
Thanks, Al. I didn't know you were thinking of me on this very important day.
Always thinking of you.
Well, you know, you were.
I can't get you out of my head. You scored many a bucket on my.
Oh my God! Can you believe it? Well,
You guys, do you know that we shared a very special moment?
no.
2004 WNBA All-Star played at Radio City Music Hall.
Oh
right.
my God!
We shared, like, that'll never happen again.
How strange was that game, by the
So
way?
strange.
Weird.
I'm
was
like,
so weird.
were we running?
I was, like, glad to experience it, but it was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Well, I mean, you were part of one of the biggest comebacks, shocking wins of all time in NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
What can the Bruins do today?
She's like, I don't
you-
care.
Can they do anything today to turn the tide?
Anything's possible. I think you gotta give it your best shot. You gotta lock down on defense. I think UConn having 42 points, that's a sign that they're not playing super aggressively on defense. But you gotta hit some shots too. Like Lauren Betts can't be the only one scoring points.
Absolutely. So what, in all seriousness, what is it like to watch your daughter play on a stage like this?
It's super stressful. I have zero control. And I just wish the best for her, and she's performed this season, so really proud of her.
Like, Sarah is just so patient, so wise out there. Was she always like that as a little kid? Was she always so methodical and so, like, present? She just never seems rattled.
She's been like that. I think for us, when she was playing early on, I think her motor was a little bit too relaxed for me because I didn't have the talent she has. I don't know who scored that bucket. Oh, okay. She said, "In your face, Mom," talking about my talent.
Basically.
But she's been super chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. So was there a moment, I feel like all of us probably have a moment growing up where you're like, oh, I'm pretty good at this. What was the moment for Sarah?
For Sarah, I think early on, just playing in Spain, she was playing in the same club that I was playing with, and you could see her get the ball, get the rebound, and then make a length of the court, one-hand pass, and that's like kids her age weren't doing that.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think it would translate into this, but she's
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
watching her game.
It must be like surreal.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, watching her game, she has that European style to her.
Yeah.
Where she
I
has
see
that
it.
feel. She just plays the game.
Great passer.
Always makes the right decision.
Always makes the right pass.
Like, you watch the game, and I'm like, did Sarah do anything today?
Yeah.
20, 10, 5,
Yeah.
5, 4, 3. And I'm like,
Yeah.
God, because she just plays within herself. Always makes the right pass, the right decision. And that probably came from watching you play, too, a lot. Like,
I would love to take that credit. I think for her, she's, again, growing up in Europe, the ball handling that they work on over there, just prioritizing playing team ball. It's hard to get a player to dial back being, super offensive minded. She's always looking to make a pass first to set her teammates up. But yeah, it really works on this team because they have a lot of movement on offense and players like AZ and Paige who can knock down shots.
So when you guys were deciding on where to go, did that play a role? Just like the style of play and what would fit?
1,000%. I think not just the style of play, but I think for us, it was Gino, it was Paige. You don't get a chance to play alongside a generational talent like that in college basketball, and the platform that she has, and also taking some of the spotlight off Sarah. Sarah is able to kind of ease into who she is as a player, and it's just worked out.
I mean, that says so much about her.
Yeah.
I mean, think about going to a school where obviously Paige and AZ have been established for the last couple of years, but to be able to come in and be like so confident in yourself, like, no, I'm it too.
Well, I tell her that all the time. I send her texts like, you are that. Like, you gotta say that to yourself.
You do.
But what's interesting is when I look at Paige's career, something that because of AZ's injuries and because of, just the way that her 4 or 5 years has gone, she really hasn't had like that running mate, right? Like you could probably think of, I could think of people, the person you got to play, I got to play with Lauren Jackson, I got to play with Brianna Stewart. This running mate that, granted, as a point guard it's a little different, but it allows Paige to play great because she knows she's got Sarah, and she really hasn't had it until this year. And then in the same breath, are you excited that AZ is staying?
Yeah.
Because now Sarah now it's like this new running mate for Sarah in a sense.
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, AZ is probably the top quickest shooter in the NCAA tournament.
I mean, tonight's a great example.
So yeah.
So have you gotten that phone call at 11:30 p.m.? She's a freshman. I can't stand Coach. He's on me all the time.
I want to leave.
I can't do it. Have you gotten that one yet?
It happened early.
Yeah, it did.
She didn't mention Coach, but I told her that's why you go to UConn. You want a coach that you're going to have to MF.
Yep.
You want a coach to force you outside of your comfort zone. And not that, she had tremendous offers to play for some amazing coaches. Just Gino is just different.
Yeah, we've talked about it. He just brings out the best in you.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy walk.
No.
And,
1,000%.
her freshman year is one thing, and then next year he's going to expect something different from her.
Yeah.
As she matures. But, gosh, she just snatches that thing, and you just think something's good's going to happen when Paige, Sarah, or AZ have the ball.
Man, this is the first year where in the last 4 years we're watching them, they just have like such a different vibe this year. UConn does. Like, it was like the weight of the world was on them just to get to the Final Four. This year it feels more like a mission.
Yeah.
Sadly, we have to go to a commercial break.
This has been dope. Thank you guys.
We're so thankful that you came on. This
Absolutely.
is so much fun.
Honored to be here.
Next time we're going to talk about your career.
Yeah.
Never Sarah.
Forget Sarah. She's a
Sarah who?
Does Sarah even know? Does Sarah even know?
She does.
Like kind of know.
Hey, she
Okay.
can search it up.
Search it up, Sarah.
Search
Thanks
it up,
for coming
Allison.
out. Presented by AT&T. AZ Fudd is having a night.
Well, I mean, we said there was going to be someone that was going to be the X factor, and tonight it's been her. She's been able to get her hands free, find space, and that's what happens when you play with Paige and Sarah.
Yeah.
And when you play with great offensive players, there's just so much gravitational pull. You're going to find yourself open, and she has for most of the game.
That's why she's truly the perfect complement.
And what I love about AZ is she doesn't have to have the ball in her hands.
Yeah.
She does everything off the ball, which it's a great gift to have. Because on every team, you can't have 2 or 3 ball dominant players. So for her to be able to do it off ball, and I think there was a concerted effort to get her some shots tonight, to get her going early. And I think Paige has done a great job of that.
I also just saw, we talked about it already, but just an aggression. You know, sometimes you get in the F it mode where you're just like, F it,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, we know, Sue.
Hopefully you're not saying it on national TV, but, you know, sometimes it happens.
I mean, UCLA is getting a little taste of what Final Four basketball is like. And you know what? This might serve them well next year.
I was just going to say.
There's a lot of time left on the clock tonight, but tonight is, you just want to end the night feeling like you have a chance for next year. That, you know what? After 6-7 months of building, that you can use this as a stepping stone for next year. Because that's at this point what you're playing for.
Lauren Betts is staying. Kiki Rice is still there. Lauren's sister, Sierra, will be joining the team. I mean,
Gabby will be back.
Yep, this is Gabby will be back. They will probably be back.
They will all have a year of great experience. You know, the coaching staff included with Corey. Like,
Yeah.
you know, being her first Final Four, she's been so close for so many years.
Wait, did you see the story? I knew about this in real time, like when it happened. I don't remember the year. Let's call it 5, 6-ish years ago, 7. Corey was at UCLA and she came to Connecticut and like watched practice.
I remember you telling me.
Yeah, and I remember feeling like that was so weird.
It's always strange when you're, but you know, at the same time, good for her.
Yeah, that's like putting your ego to the side.
Yeah, a lot of
I need to learn.
Yeah, a lot of times these coaches forget that they have to keep learning and evolving too. You know, you get stuck in your ways. Either way.
What's the other business plan we've talked about? Coaches for coaches.
Coaches for coaches, which I have the best coach for people. And it's nice to see Connecticut rolling. I think you talked about this earlier, Sue. There's been so much pressure on Connecticut every time they got to the Final Four. You could just feel it.
Yeah, there was something different the last couple of years.
There was this uneasy feeling about them, about Coach Oriema. I think it was relief. I think it's called doubt.
Oh, I would frame it as relief.
Well, no, this year relief.
No.
The last year's relief?
I feel like the last couple of years was like, like we got here.
Okay.
We got here. Not like we're excited to be here.
Right.
We're going to seize this moment.
Oh, wow. I saw a lot of doubt in their eyes the last couple of years.
I felt
this
like
year they look like a very sure and confident team.
Definitely. No, I don't feel like they feel relieved this year. I feel like they're like, yeah, and we got 2 more games.
And 1.
The face of the face of confidence.
Yes.
Those two.
Exudes
His
confidence.
hair color is like the same as his glasses.
Is that an and 1? Is that continuation in college? We'll take it.
It is now. What do you think of the uniforms, though?
The uniforms are interesting.
Sometimes I love them and sometimes I don't.
You know, I don't love the one-legged.
Well, it's from far.
Yeah, it can trick the eye.
Well, the white uniform looks like they all have it tucked into their blue spandex.
Right.
But the UConn,
You like it?
Yeah. I like that a lot. I like the trim on the jersey.
Yeah. And I mean, UCLA's classic, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like a Laker jersey.
Yeah, it's classic.
It's classic.
You know what's crazy about the UCLA uniform? They've gone through so many brands, and it's just like stayed. They've never really changed it up.
They have a template. I mean, this is setting up a great final. You know, I don't want to preview a final too early. And Sue would love to put the nail in the coffin, but she's going to wait. She's going to wait. She's going to wait until the 4th quarter.
It's your turn. I told you, you got the.
I will never.
I
will never bury my Bruins. I refuse to bury my Bruins.
Who else did you visit?
I went
Arizona.
I went to U of A.
Oh, U of A. I thought you said UVA. And I was
No,
like,
I went to Arizona. I went to North Carolina, UCLA, and
why didn't you just like throw Hawaii on there?
Where did
Do
you
it
go?
for the fun.
Where did you go?
I went to Vanderbilt, Stanford, and UConn.
The 2 schools I couldn't get into, Vanderbilt and Stanford.
We've been through this.
Yeah.
We've been through this.
We haven't heard much about Gardner tonight. She had such a great game
Yeah.
in the Elite Eight.
And she's been shooting well all year.
And she just hasn't found a way to get looks. And no, but this is a great lesson for UCLA to be able to find different ways to score.
Sarah Strong. I've always thought, like, how cool would it be to grow up the way Sarah did, right? Like, your mom, whoever, your mom and your dad are basketball players. In this case, Allison obviously played overseas, so you got to, like, be this little kid experiencing that with them. Every time we had teammates where they had young kids, it always felt like such a special experience.
Yeah,
like, for the parent, but also for the kid.
Yeah, we had some great relationships.
Oh, we had great.
Yeah.
I mean, number one's Dylan. Dylan, without a doubt.
Dylan, Tina Thompson.
Dylan Thompson, yep.
Well, what a great year. 2 years.
That was so fun.
That was awesome. Because anytime it would get tense in the locker room, Dill Pickle would walk in.
Little Dill would walk in.
And I would be so happy.
The cutest pea coat.
So swaggy.
You've ever seen. Oh, every outfit. Remember he'd walk in, we'd be like, I'd wear that.
Like, does this kid have a Moncler vest on?
I'd wear that.
I was like, I want that.
But yeah, like, what an experience for Sarah. And you really made a good point. She does have a little bit overseas in her.
She does.
She's got a little bit of European.
I mean, I don't want to say she's baby Jokic right now.
Yeah.
Like, she just has so many skills. I mean, you want to call her a post player.
It's a great comp.
She's not.
That is a great comp.
She's not. She's a big guard with all guard skills.
That is a great comp.
And
so what do you see for her?
Uh-huh.
Scoring in transition. What do you see for her, like, her game in the next 3 years? Like, what would you want to see from her?
Well, I mean, all the things that come as a freshman, and then you add being a sophomore and a junior or senior, the responsibility of actually leading a team. You know, I think that's always the next step. You can be a really, really good player, but when you take that step of leading a team, I mean, you know about that. Like, when did you feel like in college where you're like, okay, yeah, I'm one of the best players on the team, but now I'm the leader. Like, they're following me.
Pretty much the whole time.
It's true. I mean, you've always had that in you. But some people...
I think I did that before I was the best player.
Right,
I don't know if I was ever the best, you know what I mean?
But you know what? That's still a skill.
Yeah. No, listen, I didn't, like, come into the program like that. My freshman year had bumps. Obviously, I tore my ACL, so I didn't really play my freshman year. But sophomore year, yeah, I very much felt like... We actually went to Europe my freshman year, like, the summer going into my sophomore year, and it's the best thing that could have happened. I was coming back from my ACL. We've got this super talented team, and it was a little bit of a taste of what was to come, but I didn't have to be the leader yet.
Right.
Because you're just in Europe. You're, like, playing these games that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit of a wake-up call. And then going into my sophomore year, it was like, all right, this is what this needs to be.
Yeah, like, I got the keys.
Yeah, many conversations with Coach R.M. about it.
Yep.
And then this is what it needs to be. What about you?
You know, I've always gone back and forth about, you know, you lead by example. And then also, you have to be able to know what motivates each person. And you can't treat everyone the same.
Now you're sounding exactly like Coach R.
When you come to UConn, you come to win national championships. The adversity has made me stronger. It's built my character, changed me in a lot of different ways.
Waiting 5 years for this moment. She's doing things that no one's ever done before. All she needs is a national championship.
Jumper is
Obviously, knowing you're not going to get another chance, there's a different sense of urgency.
She is unstoppable.
I'm not done yet here. I feel like God is still writing my story.
Paige Beckers, what a career, but what a journey. What a journey. She starts out her freshman year as National Player of the Year. Obviously, had a lot of ups and downs with the injuries, but now she's back in the Final Four, feeling like they're going to the final game. What have you seen in Paige tonight?
I mean, think about what this kid has gone through in the last 3 or 4 years. You know, getting to the mountaintop, injuries, getting so close to tasting a national championship, and then having to do it all over again, and finally get to this place where, you know, no matter what, we talked about it earlier, when we were in school, you know, we weren't that hot as a school. When you have all this history, that's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
Paige has been able to deflect all that pressure and get back to where she wants to be.
We got somebody else here that knows a little bit about that UConn pressure. We want to welcome to the show Brianna Stewart.
Cheers.
We're going to be on camera in a minute. You guys can see Stewie's fit. Cheers.
How are you guys?
Good. Welcome to the show.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great right
I was going to say, we're
I know, you're back on. Remember last year? A little different.
Yeah.
Little different. But Stewie, we were just talking about what it was like for us when we went to UConn. So when I got there, they only won once. When you got there, it was 2.
2, yeah.
Totally different experience. We're still trying to climb the mountain, right? We're still trying to set some sort of legacy up.
Yeah, you're still
when you went there,
Tennessee.
That
was
right. Yeah, Tennessee was still like we were chasing. When you got there, it was very much about keeping the team on top of the mountain. So what were those pressures like?
It was just like national championship or bust. Like win or summer sessions, workouts start right away. And the feeling from the other teams that had to go through that, I didn't want to have to feel that again.
So, look at you.
I mean, you did all right. You seem to handle it okay.
Yeah.
Listen, you did all right.
You did all right, kid. I mean, when you look back at that, like, what are the first memories that come? Are they on-court, off-court, conversations with coach, CD? Like, what are the things your teammates?
First memories were like enjoying it with Morgan Tuck, Mariah Jefferson. Like, our freshman year was really hard, and Coach Ram was so tough. And I remember I was like always looking up into the rafters, and he was constantly making fun of me for it because every time he was mad, I was just like looking up and not trying to make eye contact with him. But it was all worth it, you know. Like the hard parts, you grind through it, and to see the success is something that I'll never take for granted.
Yeah. So when you watch a game like this, where obviously we're gonna win, but when you look at Paige, what she's been through, right, and the pressure she has dealt with, like, what do you see in her?
I mean, I think that she's just come to terms with like where she's at, and she's just appreciating every moment of her career. You know, even tonight, like she's missed some shots. She started to get it going later in the game, and making sure she leaves it all out on the court. And I think that her teammates are definitely picking her up and knowing how important this moment is. You know, knowing they want her to go out on the best note possible.
Yeah, that's a great feeling. But we said this earlier, like,
guys,
and this can go in
a little wap wap.
Like, you like that, huh? That little mid range.
Wap wap. I sure
pull up. You're the best player on the team. When did it switch? When you were like, well, I got to be the leader of this team too. Like, when did that switch happen for you in college?
In college, it probably was my senior year, where it was like Coach Oriama was like, Coach Oriama CD are like, well, you got to be the one talking. There are no more seniors. Like, you're the one that has been through everything, and I think that's the same for Paige. She's been through it all, and now, you know, it's on her shoulders to make sure she continues to relay the message to the underclassmen. I know, it was a far walk to get here.
That's what everyone keeps saying. Where do they have us?
I was like, where am I?
There's a tram on the east side of the building, Stuart.
Not to segue, but
I
haven't seen you.
Stewie has a gift too?
She retired.
What are the odds? And they're all wrapped the same? This is crazy.
Congratulations on retirement. Let's see what's in the bag.
Whippy did you dirty. We had to get it right.
Show him.
It's good. I can't. I am so over you
Just
guys.
put it on your door for Leo. Can Isla read yet?
Where are you going to put it? You better bring that back home.
Is that like license plate size?
Is this vintage?
Can you put that on the Porsche?
The Porsche's in the body shop. It got ran over at the coffee shop the other day. Yeah.
It got ran over at the
ran over.
Can't take the Porsche anywhere.
I know.
It's ran over at the coffee shop.
When you see Sarah as a freshman, so chill, so composed, I'm like, if I had an ounce of that when I was a freshman, I would have been really good.
Do you know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Tuck. She reminds me of Morgan Tuck.
That is
like just like how she was like so chill, like comes in, does her job, like gets the rebounds, scores when she needs to.
Yeah.
For us, it would have been Asia Jones.
Yeah.
You know, it's always nice having that calming presence on your team. You know, you got to have one of them. You got to have one crackhead. You got to have one fiery one. You got to have one chill one.
Who are you?
Me? You know, I'm a hybrid.
So why don't you tell
I can tap into any
hybrid between what?
I can tap into any of them, Stewie.
I said, you're retired now. Can you finally admit, like, you'd lose your cool? What'd you say?
Nah. It's just,
all of a sudden you're like, bah.
Yeah, you need, and it brings you back to recalibration.
Oh.
That's what
Yeah.
The recalibration.
Yeah, he was like, you got to check the heat and then bring it back.
When did you bring it back?
Oh, I brought it back.
When she was
forgot to
ejected,
bring it back.
when she was
most of the time.
ejected, she brought it back. She was in the locker room taking a shower. She brought it back.
No, I found the funniest picture the other day. I was going through some old, if you can imagine this, some old iPhones. I don't trust the cloud. I keep it all on the
Yeah,
phone.
you still charge
and I
them
just
up?
keep the phone. Well, some of them didn't open. That's an issue. Some of them didn't charge up. Anyways, I found one. It was a screenshot of D in the locker room after she got ejected. It's a selfie. And she sent it to me and she's like, got tossed. And it's just a selfie of you in the locker room. It is so funny. You actually sent it to a group chat. It was hilarious.
Got tossed. You know, sometimes you
got
gotta
tossed.
take an L and go home. You know,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. I'm not
Yeah, so
gonna
what do you
waste my
do?
time
Like, you
tonight.
get ejected, you go back there. Are you
Ejected.
showering?
No, I usually stay in my uniform.
Go
So
team,
once
go.
I had powdered donuts.
Oh.
Another time, security brought me a gin tonic.
Nice.
Another time, I snuck through the side and watched the game live, which you're not supposed to do, but I did it
They
anyways.
should get you like a suite. Like
Yeah.
an ejection suite.
Ooh, that would be nice.
That would have been smart. They
Stuart,
should
have
name
you
it.
ever
They
been
should
ejected?
sell that. It'd be like the
No,
Diana
no.
Taurasi
I've
ejection
never been
seat brought to you by.
ejected.
Have you
No.
been ejected?
I like
Never.
I have one
God,
tech.
you
in
guys
my-
haven't
I have
lived.
one tech. I think I get one tech.
I had
A
like
year
two.
or like your whole
in
career?
my whole
Ever.
career. I'm nice.
I don't think you realize what an outlier you are, bro.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
But you know what? When you did retire, what I really enjoyed seeing, the tech that you got when you tripped
I
on
told
the
you.
feet and you got ejected. I love
She
that.
reffed in the first game, Tiffany Bird. I was imagining like,
No relation. No relation.
no relation.
No relation.
It's with a Y. It's with a Y.
I don't think it's with a Y.
It's not with
I
a
don't
I?
think so. But there's no relation.
Okay.
Stewie. Oh, go
No,
ahead.
I have questions for Steve.
So do I. What are you about to bring
I
up?
was gonna say, like, can UCLA take anything from this for
No.
next year? Like, can they?
I think we're
I
going to
guess you
break,
know
so
what.
you're gonna
Sue,
have to-
tell him.
Yeah, you're going to have to hold that thought.
Sue's gonna cut you off.
Hold that thought. I haven't had to cut anybody off this year. Bird and Taurasi show is presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. D, you have had an excellent day. We have celebrated you. You've gotten a couple gifts.
I can't right
Which is your
now.
favorite?
I think I'm gonna go. I mean, you know, I love coffee. Like, first thing in the morning, I need my coffee. So I'm gonna go with the coffee mug.
Dee loves coffee so much, she would bring on road trips, like your own, what was it, like your own, not blender, but what was the coffee thing you had?
Well, in the bubble.
Oh yeah, in the bubble.
No, I brought it my own like grind and brew coffee machine.
Yeah,
Like I
I'm
needed
thinking of
really
something
good
else,
coffee.
but Dee does love her coffee.
You love my coffee.
So we were so excited that we could celebrate your retirement with
so many gifts. I feel so loved.
I know. Hope you have space for them.
I will. I'll pack them. I'll FedEx them back.
Okay, perfect. All right, we were talking in
So
the
loved.
commercial. If UConn wins the national championship, does Coach Auriemma retire?
I'm gonna say no, because knowing Coach Auriemma, he sees Sarah Strong, and he's gonna go, I'm gonna make her the best player in the world for
This
the next
happens
3
every 4 years.
You know, it's like he gets a little taste of like new talent, and he's like, yeah. It like sparks his interest again. You know, it's probably happened over and over
and over.
and over.
Yeah, there's a sense of
Ownership. And
Yeah,
like,
like-
this is gonna be my creation.
I wasn't gonna go there.
I also am saying no, but you guys made fun of me for my reasoning because I think he still has energy.
Yeah,
Like,
look at Coach right now.
I just looked at him.
You said he looks energetic.
I wikied him the other day. He's 71.
So you made such a good point the other day where like when we were with Coach, he was like 43, like, you know?
Yeah, when I was with him, he didn't have that much gray hair.
That's what I'm saying.
Now
And
he
like-
has
like
a lot.
about the version that these kids are getting. They're getting an older season.
They're getting
A more
getting
gentle.
grandpa. They're getting a grandpa.
More gentle.
I got an uncle.
I don't know what I got.
What'd you say?
I got an Italian uncle for sure.
I got I want to go get a drink with my uncle.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't have
And
that.
they have a grandpa.
No.
Yeah, what you had a dad.
Yeah.
You had a dad.
Yeah. I felt like I was in trouble a lot.
Wait, how old is Mike? How old is Michael? Coach Auriemma's son.
I don't know.
Michael's probably
He
in
must be
his
older
30s.
than Stewie.
He's older than me.
But
Yeah.
like, how much? You got a dad.
Well, so I used to play horse against Mike in stores.
No,
at
Mike was
Gamble
like
when he
11 when I was,
like 13.
Anyways, you got a dad. We got the cool uncle.
Yeah, we got cool.
And they have, I mean, look at him.
We got Luigi. We got Luigi, the cool uncle.
Yeah, we did.
Yo, let me tell you something.
But he does look like the guy from Up.
Oh, yeah. This has been established.
Yes.
This has been
He
established.
just took that picture recently.
It's, yeah.
But you know what? You just said it, though. Like, Coach just doesn't care anymore.
No.
He's like, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. I just heard him on a podcast, and I was like, dang, he just, like, doesn't care anymore.
No.
Like, all these things that you should evolve, or this is the new way of doing it. No. This is how I do it. This is how we do it, and it's going to continue.
Yeah. I will say, when he speaks on the issues in the world of women's basketball, it just lands different.
Yeah.
It's like when he says something. Honestly, when these, like, the people who have had the success, they've been here for a long time, their voices just have I feel like women's basketball does still need his voice.
Yeah.
But does he retire? I think he thinks about it.
So do you think he'll
Have you guys asked him? Like,
no, do you think he should retire?
Well, I think he keeps signing 5-year extensions every year.
So you don't have to finish that.
No, I think he truly still loves it.
Should he retire?
Should he retire? That is a loaded question in so many ways.
That's what this show is for.
I do not think he should retire.
Okay.
I think
I'll ask you off camera.
If they win it this year, he should not retire. If they lose, he should retire.
So this is the tricky part, right? If they win, what it's going to feel like is, I can do this again.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to feel like. And that's going to be the tricky part. No, I don't think he should or could or whatever.
Well, you know, retirement is like it's like having kids. There's never a good time to have kids. There's never a good time to retire. Like, you don't get to write the ending. It just ends.
Okay.
And it goes away.
But imagine.
but when you're a coach, it's a little bit different.
Exactly.
You're not playing.
But knowing Coach, he wants to go out with a win. Does he not?
Well,
going back to Sue?
We might find out in 48 hours.
Circling back to
Stewie,
Shoshana.
it was a little different this year. I'm actually happy. We're up a lot.
I know. Me too.
Last time
I'm
was
happy to be
different.
here. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. Always appreciate it. By AT&T. We asked you guys a very important question. So now we are going to see what the people think. Who will have the best WNBA career? Was it Lauren Betts? No. Was it Madison Booker? No. Elijah Wiley? No. Paige Becker, 77%. I mean, I agree.
Not surprising.
Yeah, not surprising.
And I think America has seen Paige for so long now and seen her greatness at every turn. And, you know, even tonight didn't have, you know, a game that you would say was elite, but all it's about is winning.
Winning.
She found a way to get AZ on, Sarah. I mean, these are the things that when you become a leader, the box score doesn't really matter. Can you lead your team at this point to the final, which she's clearly done now, and can you get over the hump as a senior? I mean, those are things that still we're looking for, but she's done it so far.
Okay, so Sarah Strong is the third different freshman in UConn history with 20 points in a Final Four game. By the way, Sarah Strong had 20 points. When?
Didn't I say this earlier?
Yes.
I watch games and Sarah Strong has 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 9. And I'm like, did she do it?
When? That's incredible.
Incredible.
Okay.
Incredible.
Like I said, she's the third different freshman. Name the other two.
Say that.
20-point games. Sorry, 20-plus points in a Final Four game.
20-plus points in a Final Four game? 20-plus points in one
freshman.
Oh,
freshman.
Stewie?
Uh-huh.
And Maya.
That is correct.
Oh, God, get off me.
You're pretty good at this.
Hey, what's better than a blowout? And then the homies have been practicing all year, can't get off the pine, and they come in and start making plays. I mean, that's a great feeling.
Oh, no, they got jokes. They're covering their mouths. They got jokes. All right, let's check out Sarah today. I mean, it wasn't quiet, but it was just so within the flow of the game. that you didn't even notice it.
She's like a ballerina, a prize fighter, all put
She's
into
Jokic.
one.
She's the Joker. You really nailed it.
She is. I even see a little Muhammad Ali in her. She, she's
like
playing against the ropes.
Sting like a...
Just, getting beat up.
Fight?
Yes, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah?
Yeah, do you not search it up? Girl, you gotta search it up.
You searched it up?
I searched it up. I have ESPN Classics. That's what I watch.
My boxing knowledge ended when I stopped playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Once I got to, Bald Bull.
Oh, the bald dude, yeah, he was
Bald Bull was tough.
He was tough.
There was a way. It was second Bald Bull that I really struggled with.
That was tough.
Second Bald Bull was tough. Sarah has 22 points.
Yes.
9 for 13.
Yes.
4 for 6 from 3. 8 rebounds. Light work.
What a wonderful night.
Light work.
And it's nice to see a kid like, Aubrey Griffith come in and score a basket. She's gone through her, her injury process too and being back on court. But
listen, you're better at math. What are we up by?
I mean, that's an easy 30 right there. I mean, if you're UCLA.
I was not expecting this.
Me either. I
thought this was going to be I was nervous.
I thought this was going to be the best game of the night, and unfortunately I was wrong. But if you're UCLA, you get on that plane and you flush it.
Is that what you do?
You just flush this game.
You just flush it?
And then if you're Corey Close, you go back to the drawing board, you get in that portal, and you get a couple players, because you're really close. Like anything in life, just how you could be really close or you could be really, it's
small.
It's small. The
margin's small.
That margin is small. They're really close to being national champs next year. I think this is a great experience for Lauren Betts. I mean, she played great tonight.
I don't like this part.
Yeah. We talk about March Madness, but you know what it also is?
March
sadness. Of course, Shoshana.
We've experienced the sadness.
Oh, I've been there.
Listen, sometimes we get up here and we act like we never lost. We've experienced the sadness.
Yeah, the sadness is tough.
It's tough. It's motivating, but it's tough.
It is motivating. It is motivating, especially when you've had so much success. I mean, UCLA's 34-2.
Yeah.
And they've lost both games to one team.
One team.
Like that. This is going to be a hard pill to swallow for them. But nonetheless, a great season for UCLA. New conference, won the Big Ten Conference Tournament. I think their younger players made great strides this year. Next year, they're going to just be better for it.
Is that Caroline Ducharme?
She's back in the game soon.
Wow. Good for her. Good for her. It's a long story.
A Tale of Two Cities. Did you read that in high school? Was that one of your requirements?
I did not.
Yeah, that was one of my
We were in like the Catcher in the Rye lane. Did you read it?
I was supposed to read it.
Get the Cliff Notes?
My class read it. they read it.
Did you take the SAT or the ACT?
I took the SAT. I should have took the
Yeah,
do they do that anymore?
You must have done well in the math.
I did really well in the math. I did really poorly in the English and reading part. That's when I thought an 860 was a superb score.
Was that the bare?
That's horrible. I think you get 400 for your name.
You do. You do.
Well, Sue, the table is set.
The table is set.
Maybe
this is what we all wanted.
Maybe it's too early to talk about it. What are your initial impressions on what South Carolina versus Connecticut looks like?
Oh, man.
What is like the one thing that you're like,
where do we find that?
Like, if this one team does, they're going to win.
So, if UConn doesn't shoot the three well, I don't know if they have a chance.
Yeah.
And I think what South Carolina showed us tonight is they can play just like the grind out, the grimy. It doesn't have to be pretty. They don't have to hit a lot of shots. They just, for 40 minutes, kind of like do that. Just play in that like steady kind of like. And for UConn, now, UConn's incredibly efficient, their offense. Obviously, the last time they played South Carolina, you know, that game was a little bit of a blowout, but a lot of that came on the back of some really good shooting. So I think UConn has to shoot really well to have a chance. And I think the margin for error is just a little bit smaller in a weird way for South Carolina.
Right.
Because it's all the hustle plays.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, they say styles makes fights, right? I mean, two distinct styles, both so effective. And you're right. This is what the people want.
All right. UConn won by more than 27, which makes it the largest margin of victory versus a 1 seed in tournament history. Just setting records, as per usual.
Wow. And you want the man to retire.
Guys, we're going to come back on Sunday. We're here for the final. We've got Caitlin Clark joining the show. This will be Caitlin's second time.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to have her back as a pro. She was a college kid.
She was a college kid.
She was a college kid back then. So
Not
now
anymore.
we got to get professional.
Caitlin's grown.
Caitlin has grown.
Boy, Caitlin's amazing.
Yeah, Caitlin has grown. So we're excited for that. I mean, what are your thoughts on this game? We kind of just talked about it a little.
I mean, I'll look at it from the UCLA point of view.
Okay.
Disappointing. I think they came into this game thinking they had a chance. You know, thinking that, you know, with Betts and Kiki and Gabby, they had enough there to overcome, you know, UConn's depth and obviously experience. I don't think we talked about, you know, Connecticut's experience enough down the line, but at the end of the day, Connecticut is just a well-oiled machine right now. And we've seen these teams before. They have a different attitude about them. So what did you see about South Carolina that you loved going into the finals?
Like I said, what I really enjoyed about them, and we're about to send it to Holly to talk to Paige. What I liked about South Carolina, the margin of error is actually not that great, where they can just play, be who they are, and be great.
Was really interesting. UCLA, one of the most efficient teams in the country, high scoring. How did your defense really decide this one?
I was Jana, Ice, Sarah, and Aubrey working in the paint. They got the best post player in the country. She draws so much attention. She's very physical. She gets to her spot. And they just did a tremendous job on her. They've been working extremely hard in practice. Our practice players been doing a great job of being Lauren Betts. You can't be her, but you can do her best to try to be like her. But they just did a wonderful job in the paint. Our guards got ball pressure on the guards, so the passes weren't easy. And it was a full team effort, but man, those big guys did great.
You've had a front row seat to AZ Foot rehab, all of the things she's been through that have been hard. What's it like having a front row seat for her first half right now tonight?
Rewarding. It's just so much fun to watch her play with joy, be at this stage. You see all the ups and downs, the bad days, the good days, and to be in the spot where it's the light at the end of the tunnel, and for her to perform and just be at this stage, it means everything to us.
Last time you took on South Carolina, you guys snapped their 71-game win streak. What will it take to beat them again for a national championship?
Yeah, at this point, anything you did prior to the season means nothing. The record is 0-0, and the teams are trying to go 1-0 in the final game. So to keep up the defensive intensity like we did tonight, they're a really good team. They get out in transition. They got interior play, great guard play. So we'll have our hands full.
You played for a national championship as a freshman. I don't know if people remember that. And now you'll get another chance. What did you learn in those moments that will carry you over?
Just to do what we've been doing the entire season, not try to win the national championship game in one possession, but play it. That possession is the most important possession of the season. Take it play by play and play the entire 40 minutes.
We'll see you Sunday.
Thank you.
Sounds pretty determined.
Sounds like a focused human being.
Man, that was just, there was something about the cadence of her speak that was like business.
This team's on a mission, and you can say the same about South Carolina. One's trying to go back-to-back. One's trying to finish a journey. I feel like as a program, we've been going through the ups and downs for the last 5 years. And, you know, that's all for us tonight. We'll be back Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN for the championship.
Throw it.
Life's good.
The Yeti is ready.
You know what's about to happen.
I've never worn a bolo. It's my first bolo.
Just put it on the bun. The people want to see it on the bun. Your bun's already tight. It's all right.
That's so beta.
Yeah.
I'm like, beta what?
Do they do the skibbity toilet?
All right, let's get back to the game.
Yeah, please.
Same form.
Pow, pow. Pow, pow.
The Cox,
Congratulations.
they're coming back. You ain't got it by now. And the fat lady has sung.
The best burger in the entire country.
Oh, my God.
That don't mean y'all just clowning today.
You can tie it.
You're clowning.
Where it's like got tossed. It's just a selfie of you.
Got tossed. You know what? Sometimes you
got
gotta
tossed.
take an L and go home.
Maladiets to the UConn Huskies. That couldn't have gone worse.